Okay, what if I told you that the personality you've had your whole life, your shyness or your tendency to procrastinate, maybe even your creative spark, what if I told you it isn't permanent? What if it's more like a role you're playing and you can at any moment just change the script? Think about that. If that's true, it means you're the one holding the pen. So let's talk about how to write your next chapter.
This quote from Steve Chandler, it's kind of mind-bending, right? It's really the big idea we're diving into. It just completely challenges this fundamental belief that we are who we are. It suggests that the very thing we think defines us is actually something we can control.
So think about it for a second. We all play these roles, right? We're performing from scripts we didn't even know we were handed. Are you playing the worrier, where your default setting is just anxiety? Or maybe you're the procrastinator, who always says, "I'll get to it tomorrow." The thing is, these aren't you. They're just characters. And just realizing that, that's the first huge step to a rewrite.
So if you're not the character, then who are you? Well, you are the author. And this right here is the key shift in perspective. It's about moving from being a passive actor in your own life to being the active writer of your own story.
This slide really breaks down the two ways you can see yourself. On one side, you've got the fixed self. That's basically a prison built from that phrase, "Well, that's just the way I am." But on the other side, you've got the malleable self, and that is total liberation. It's this radical idea that your personality is like a living document, and you have full editing rights. The point isn't to discover who you are, it's to decide who you're going to be.
Let's actually put a name on this. We're going to call it the self as a script. And it's a really powerful way to reframe your whole identity from a noun to a verb. Your personality isn't something you have, it's something you do every single day. And anything you do, you can choose to do differently.
So how do you actually do this? How do you rewrite your script? It's really a three-step process. First, you've got to recognize your default script. That's the automatic programming you're running on. Second, you become the thinker. That's the conscious you, the author who sees the script for what it is. And third, you start the rewrite by consciously choosing new thoughts and taking new actions.
Now, this might sound like a nice theory, but let's see how it plays out in the real world. We're going to look at an amazing story of a shy truck driver from Mississippi who decided to rewrite his script and, well, ended up becoming a king.
So our story starts with a young man who was pretty much stuck in his default script. He was quiet, unassuming, and really, by all accounts, was just destined for a pretty ordinary life. His internal script was all about his limitations.
And here it is. This is the line that was literally written into his script by an authority figure. Can you imagine hearing that? You have no future. That one sentence just reinforced his character as someone who should probably just stay in the background. And for years, he believed it. So he became a truck driver.
This timeline shows the whole rewrite in action. He started with the default script, right? The truck driver. But then came the rehearsal. He was secretly acting as if he was this huge star. And finally, the breakthrough, when that private rehearsal suddenly became a very public reality.
His old script, the one that was reinforced by other people, was super clear and super limiting. You are a base.
But inside, the author, the thinker, he rejected that line. And he dared to write a completely new one. I am a star. And that was the pivotal moment of choice. And just like that, the new script completely took over. The character he had been practicing, the swaggering, charismatic, rebellious icon, walked on stage and Elvis Presley became the king. He wasn't born that way. He authored it.
So what does this all mean for you? This framework is an incredibly powerful tool, especially for those of you who are product leaders. Because as a leader, you're not just the author of your own script, you're pretty much the casting director for your entire team.
So here's your playbook. First, stop labeling your people with fixed traits. You're just limiting their script. Second, hire for potential, not just what they've done in the past. Third, give people bigger roles than they think they're ready for. This forces a rewrite. Fourth, create a culture where growth is just the default setting. And maybe most important, model it yourself. Show your team that you are actively rewriting your own script.
Okay, so we've deconstructed this myth of the fixed self, we've seen how it works with an incredible story, and we've laid out a playbook for leadership. So now, the focus comes right back to you. Your next scene is totally unwritten.
This, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. Forget about trying to find yourself. That whole idea assumes you're some finished product just waiting to be uncovered. You're not. You're a work in progress, and you're the one holding the pen. The power to decide is yours, and it's yours right now.
So my question for you is this. Take a look at your own script, the character you play by default. What is one line, just one, that you will choose to rewrite starting today?